The United States of America has stood for democratic values across the world. But today, when people in their own country are questioning the actions of the administration, they are faced with a massive crackdown. When campuses in India were raising slogans against the Indian administration, US lectured India on the values of democracy. US Ambassador to India Eric Garcetti addressed the delicate issue of India's Citizenship Amendment Act or CAA. Garcetti emphasized the importance of religious freedom and equality, values cherished in democracies worldwide.
That the principle of religious freedom and of equality under the law is a cornerstone of democracy. And that's why we look at these things. It would be easier not to look in our friends or have friends, but we invite you to do the same with our imperfect democracy. It's not a one-way street, but I do think that you can't give up on principles no matter how close you are with friends or if it comes from your worst enemy when those are principles that you stand for.
US's stance on the CAA drew criticism from India, sparking a diplomatic exchange.
As you are well aware, the Citizenship Amendment Act 2019 is an internal matter of India. As regards the US State Department's statement on the implementation of CAA, and there have been comments made by several others, we are of the view that it is misplaced, misinformed, and unwarranted. Lectures by those who have a limited understanding of India's pluralistic traditions and the region's post-partition history are best not attempted.
When Iran saw massive protests and the response of the regime, this is what the US had to say. Come 2024, the United States is faced with the worst policy crisis. Supporting Israel's war efforts in Gaza has become untenable for a democratic Biden administration. Yet, while on the one hand they ask Israel to exercise restraint, on the other hand, they've carried out excessive action against students protesting in universities across America. And now the same upholder of democracy is cracking down on students and professors alike. Armed personnel on college campuses, brute force being used, arrests. India did not miss the opportunity in reminding America about the values of democracy. It's not what you say abroad, but what you do at home.
We've seen reports or several reports on it and have been following related events. In every democracy, there has to be the right balance between freedom of expression, sense of responsibility and public safety and order. Democracies in particular should display this understanding in regard to other fellow democracies. After all, we are all judged by what we do at home and not what we say abroad.
The message from United States is loud and clear. Fall in line or leave the country.
My message to the students inside the encampment is go back to class and stop the nonsense. If this is not contained quickly, and if these threats and intimidation are not stopped, there is an appropriate time for the National Guard. We have to bring order to these campuses. We cannot allow this to happen around the country.
International students who participated in the protests faced suspension and eviction. Most of them now are staying away out of fear of being sent back to their home country.
Schools have been taking very harsh disciplinary measures, like already in Colombia, so many students got evicted with like a 15-minute time frame to get their stuff out. People are getting suspended, arrested.
While the US promotes itself as a champion of free speech and expression abroad, it hypocritically crushes dissent and suppresses student activists and protesters. This contradiction exposes the hypocrisy of America's commitment to democratic values and highlights its double standards.